welcome to the Virtual Groom Room. My name is Jack, your host, and today I'm bringing you another shaving video. I have some cool products for you to see today, so I'm really looking forward to it. The first thing I'll show you is the soap we're going to be using, and that is Mammoth Soap's Mood Indigo. This is in the Tusk base. This is actually a recent re-release from Mammoth. I believe Ben re-released it through Vita at Oleo Soapworks. Few things what that means though, and good things for the consumer. Vita, obviously, Oleo being her full-time business, I believe, so it's much easier for her to make soap in bulk. I believe she's taken over the soap making for Ben, with the same formula, obviously, not as Oleo, but as Mammoth, so she's using his formula to make his soap. Fantastic, means these are more readily available for people. This scent is Mood Indigo. Now, the thing that makes this scent unique for me, it's a mixture of earth, kind of like dark-ish earthy, with this really beautiful blueberry. And the blueberry is what makes this just very unique. The overall profile is quite sweet, but it's neutralized with those earthy notes. Oh, it's just beautiful. The scent strength on this is probably about a 5 or a 6. It's there. It's not, in your face, but it's definitely present. So we're going to be using that as a soap today. Now, razor. I'd like to thank a subscriber of mine. Thank you to Steve Mendez for sending this for me to try. This is the Smart Helix Apollo Light Razor. Now, this comes to you out of Ukraine. The first things first, I have to say, this thing is made very, very well. There's a few design features that they went with just straight away that I think are very good. So for example, there's lots of threading here, which means there's good thread bearing. The threading, because of the good thread bearing, means it's incredibly smooth. The top cap is very, very good in terms of tolerances to the base plate. The handle, there's also nothing wasted on the handle. That, for me, is a fantastically made handle in terms of the pattern and the knurling on there. Now, this was sent to me with 2 plates, and I believe they only do 2 plates. The way to signal what plates you're using, as you can see here, you see there's a line here, just there. The more efficient plate, instead of having that 1 line, will have 2 lines. This is the milder plate, and we're going to be using that with a second use Gillette Nacet. I'm really looking forward to giving this razor a try. I've seen a few other guys use it. I've seen Paul H and Kevy Shaves use it. So I'm looking forward to giving this a whirl. The one downside this has, just straight away for me, is how you load the blade. It's another one of those base plate loaders. I'm not sure why people are doing that nowadays. However, it's a hindrance for me because I don't want to have to fiddle with a naked blade, if you catch my drift. So we're going to screw that in here. As far as overhang goes, doesn't seem really tight. There we go. I think that's good there. So yeah, no overhang. A decent looking blade exposure there. However, something I will say actually, the blade isn't very curved. The blade is quite flat, in my opinion, relative to quite a lot of other razors in terms of the head geometry. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of angle that means we need to shave at. And another new item, something I bought from a good friend of mine. This is a Chisel and Hound. It's a resin brush, but I think it looks really cool. It's kind of like a 2-tone. There's like a beige part and a cool like brown, orange, flamey looking part. This is a V7 Fanchurian knot. I'm yet to use one of these Fanchurians from that dumb Rob, so I'm looking forward to giving these a try as well. I've used this brush once before, and I'll talk a bit more about kind of the use case when I'm using it. But I have to say, if you're one of those people that don't want to buy those hand-tied brushes or hand-tied knots, and you prefer to opt for something more affordable like this, if you're choosing this, you're not missing out. For me, the performance, or at least the desired performance, how I want it, between this and some of the better hand-tied knots, it's so minimal that it's not worth paying the extra money, in my opinion. If you're looking at it from a completely objective standpoint anyway, I don't think there's a point in spending that money based on the performance of the two knots. And I've not used a hand-tied knot that is like magnitudes better than this. I don't think it exists, even the Varley. So I can tell you that if you've been wondering, like how much better can they be? I'd say the hand-tied knots, there are a few aspects to it that I personally prefer, but not enough to warrant the extra $100 or so markup on this, if you catch my drift. So we're gonna get a good generous load in here. This tusk formula, I think you saw me use this before with Santal Noir. It's very good, very easy to lather, really nice immediate post shave. That should suffice. So we're gonna put that over there. We're gonna take off the glasses. I've just had a shower, so my 4 days growth should be fairly hydrated there. It's quite dark in this bathroom, so I hope you can see me. Shoot some cold water. If you guys know me, I generally prefer shaving with cold water. I find it refreshing, and I've always found that with cold water I get reduced irritation, or none at all, which is obviously the ideal scenario. Let's get this proto lather on my face and then we'll get to lathering up here. I'm really looking forward to using this razor. This is my first use. As I said, it was sent to me to try, so thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that. I could probably shave with that, to be honest, but what's the fun in that? Okay, so I'm gonna just stash this over here so it's not in the way. Rinse the hand here. Clean that up in a minute, and then we'll get to lathering here. So, this knot, the density immediately really surprised me. I didn't quite expect it to have that degree of density. This is the densest non-hand tied knot I've ever used. I'd like to say that pretty much every knot we use is hand tied, just not by the person who's selling it. So this is hand tied by someone. The difference tends to be the hair selection process. So this has probably a less stringent selection of hair as opposed to something like a declaration brush or a Ballet or rhodium or something like that. But the face feel of this is stunning. The tiniest bit of scrub, and the scrub is mainly coming from the backbone. I believe Rob sets all of his knots kind of at the same block. But with this, I don't need to split it all the way. And it produces just a wonderful lather. I mean, look at that already. Obviously, some of that is kudos to the tusk base, which is very, very good too. Oh, you know, I also said next week I'm going to bring you what I think is the new best balm. That's in this video. So, if you're curious to see what I think the best balm is, or definitely a contender for the best balm, stick around. Oh man, what a beautiful lather that just whipped up. And of course, guys, you know me, we're not done yet. So I've got another couple of minutes to lather here. Not that we're stuck for time, but just don't want to keep you guys forever while I do this. We're pretty much good, to be honest. So take a bit more water in. Make sure it's hydrated enough. And I do that in a couple of ways. The main way I do it is seeing whether the brush is skating smoothly across my face as opposed to feeling a bit sticky. So it's still a tiny bit sticky,
So a little bit more water is needed before
we can actually get to the shave. As far as my preferences go anyway, everyone is a bit different.
There we go. I think we're good here.
Cool. Okay. Use this towel to clean up. There. Okay, let's get shaving with this new razor then. So, the Smart Helix Apollo Light Razor with the grain.
This is very smooth.
Way more mild than I was expecting. The blade fit is incredibly muted on this plate here.
Wow.
Very good.
So I was told to kind of hug the top cap. That's what I'm doing here.
It's a slightly more of a obtuse angle of attack. Chuck a bit up, a bit higher on the handle there. Okay, just super easy that first pass. Next video I'll bring the more efficient plate and we'll see how that goes. But I can say that it took down a lot of hair there in the first pass, and that is a very mild plate. But for me that goes to show, you don't need to use an R41 to get a good shave with a few days growth, just don't. Insane residual slickness. Mainly because I still have bloody soap on my face. Still a lot of soap, but I don't like to wash that away. I like to just keep that there. It's like a base layer of slickness, but I mean, I could shave with that. It's that slick.
Lather up again.
Really nice. Really nice. Okay, let's do our hybrid pass here. I know I keep running back and forth like Chris Maiden, but forgive me. Let's dry off this handle a little bit because I've got quite a lot of soap on here. And my hands are very slick. There we go. Okay, let's do the hybrid pass here. So,
Kind of like hybrid up and across. Whoa, that's super comfortable.
in very good blade clamping. Very, very good. And that's the biggest thing that's noticeable for me. It feels so safe. There's
like no blade chatter whatsoever.
That's one of the most comfortable razors I think I've used. Wow. Doesn't lack in efficiency either. so much slickness from the soap left behind. It's really, really efficient too. There's hardly anything left there.
As you can hear, it's just not left much to cut.
Wow. Yeah, I'm very impressed. Okay, we don't need to go much further than that. Wow. Very, very impressed. Very mild, but also very efficient. I'd say,
As far as mild goes, it's as mild as the Tatara Masamoon.
I actually think it's a lot more comfortable. On that, against the grain pass on my face, I don't find the Masamoon very comfortable. That was incredibly comfortable. So take that for what you will. Okay, let me clean off my hands, clean up the gear, and I'll see you guys for the post shave, and we'll discuss everything we use today. I'll be back soon. Hey guys, post shave time. Immediate post shave on this soap is very, very good, as discussed earlier. This razor got me surprisingly close, kind of closer than most of the other razors I have to say. So, what I think is now one of the best balms on the market, possibly the best balm, and I'll tell you why I think that in a minute. This is the matching Indigo balm. However, this isn't a formula from Mammoth soaps. This is the new Oleo Soapworks balm. This stuff, now the edge for me, it has over the Zingari balm, is it's lighter, not by loads, but it's definitely lighter. And it absorbs so fast, like insanely fast.
Like, I could talk to you.
I'll tell you when it's absorbed.
And I'm not bullshitting.
Okay. Let's do a recap of the gear. I'll explain some of the stuff and I'll tell you when it absorbs. It'll be really fast, I assure you. And it's not like light to the point where it doesn't feel like you've put on a balm. You've put on a balm, it hydrates your face really well. So let's do a recap of the gear. Smart Helix Apollo Light Razor. First use, it blew me away actually. I kind of like a lot of the design decisions they've made for this razor. 2 plates, simple, you know, a mild and an efficient plate. This is the mild plate. I'm looking forward to using the efficient one as well. Handle design, really smart, good thread bearing, phenomenal blade clamping. Felt safe through the whole of the shave. No unwanted vibration or anything like that. Limited audio feedback, which is what I prefer, because I find with audio feedback you have the tendency to kind of press down and stop that audio feedback, so it doesn't quite sound right. I'm very impressed. I'm looking forward to really putting this through its paces. I used Mammoth soaps, Indigo soap in the Tusk formula. Very good, lovely scent, as I said. Probably not perfectly ideal for this time of year, but who gives a shit. The balm, phenomenal balm, which has soaked in, by the way. So what was that? A minute or two, and it's completely absorbed into my skin. I really can't complain. This, for me, if not one of the best, is the best balm out nowadays. I've used this about 5 or 6 times. Even when I haven't used the soap, it's such a good post-shave product. I'm really looking forward to seeing when she releases this, especially in an unscented version, because I'm going to be right on that. And last but not least, the Chisel and Hound Fanchurian V7. I can't say too much about that. As far as kind of like the higher end brushes go, poses phenomenal value. It's as good as pretty much all of the hand-tied knots I've used. If it's not as good, it's really not enough far off to warrant the extra 100 or 2 upcharge there. But yeah, what a shave. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video today. If you're new around here and haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I very much appreciate it. Apart from that, my name is Jack, your host from the Virtual Groom Room. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful day, and goodbye for now.